Vogue. Ooh. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Just cleaning up, tidying up, decluttering, if you will. A mailbox on my computer. But now I'm here for you. All right? Friday. Thank God it's Friday. Right? Hey, spreading sunshine. Your job worked. Look. I can, don't steal my sunshine. Who was that? Was that Len? Len, I think. With that ba-doom, ba-dump, ba-doom, ba-dump little thing from More, Andrea True Connection. Yes, thank God it's Friday. Oh, friendly names. So people who checked the secret page and knew what time I was coming on today. Yeah, love it. Laura Gibbon Vo, Rochelle, Jennifer, Rachel, Blonde Cheryl, what? User 1963. Nice to see you all. And happy Friday. My goodness, you realize we're almost 2 weeks into to September. I'm still pushing it by occasionally putting on my flip-flops and my sandals. German Maid, nice to see you. Jackie, nice to see everybody. Even if I don't say your name, if I can't pronounce it, if it flurries by, if it doesn't come up on my screen, know that it's a good day. And when you wake up, happy to say, I think I'll make a snappy new day. It's such a good feeling. A very good feeling. Well, I won't sing the whole song. Aw. Alrighty, Laura Gibbon Vo. Having a hard time getting moving, but noticing what one of your flat tires is. Okay. Beat the headache once, but it came back again. Water, stretching, meds. You know the things you can do for it. And I will offer to you, please, if you have recurring headaches, and you don't find a consistent thing, like love yourself enough to, find some stuff that works. I have on hand medication that I didn't have before this. The medication is a game changer for migraines. But I also, as I said to my doctor literally yesterday, I said, I live in my body 24/7, 365. And I'm thinking that one of the contributing factors to my headaches is a possible, as I was being all fancy, I said, a musculoskeletal type of thing. So she would know that I'm smart. I said muscular skeletal, right? Not skeletor. And so I asked her, can we get some x-rays of the place where it always comes up, and maybe some physical therapy? She said, yeah, so we're going to try that. But I hope you feel better, hon, okay? So if you're not getting moving, move slowly, but take care of your human body first. Everything else is affected by that. Kelly D, nice to see you. Laura G, I'm glad you got my Mr. Rogers thing. Oh, Patty broke your shoulder. Kelly D, nice to see you. Laura G, I'm glad you got my Mr. Rogers thing. Oh, Patty broke your shoulder. Yeah, and that sucks. Patty, take care of your shoulder. You're number one finding out how much life that you do or think or whatever is affected by how your physical body feels and moves. And Laura Gibbon Voorhees, another thing too, because this catches me up too, so I share it with you. Much like we say in coaching, and we say this all the time, there is absolutely nothing wrong with getting help. I struggle sometimes. I'm like, no, I don't want to take my migraine medicine. Maybe just an Excedrin will do. So there's no shame in taking something that's going to make you feel better. Okay? So I just offer to you, I am not perfect at this. I am not as good at this as I want to be, but man, a Shevitz, am I better than I used to be with realizing I'm not feeling good and doing something about it more quickly, and choosing the thing that I can pretty much know that's going to work. Like if after a couple of Excedrins throughout the day, I might have to go in for the heavy guns, okay? Yeah, and it does take courage to get help. And living in an individualistic, if there's something wrong, if you need help, there's something wrong with you, that kind of place that we've grown up You can feel judged and inferior and lacking if you're asking for help. And I say, no, 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 no. Then when they tried to make me go to rehab. Okay. So yeah, Patty, I hope you feel better. Laura, I hope you feel better. Yeah. And I hope everybody feels better. And I hope everybody feels good. And here we are. Here we are. Boom. If we didn't have such a narrow screen right here, I could get the happiness behind me, which I want you to always be focusing on. What's going to make me feel good? What's going to make me happy? And not just happy on the surface, but happy where it counts, from the skin within. Okay? And kind of longer term than just the quick sugar high of, buying a Gucci bag or something. Not that I know what that's like. And, okay, good. So thank you so much. Back feeling better already mentally. Okay? And, yeah. And notice, people. So what I'm going to say is, here we are. We're always kind of here. Every day you start out like a pin on a map. And you've probably done some things. And so here we are about right here. So we're in the car. And I put this up in above my head to remind all of us, Beth, Destination Decluttered, Decluttering Life Coach, that having something to aim for, having a destination, if you will, and a destination that you're thinking is going to make you happy, and thinking about that, what kind of level of happiness it is before you even start, will guide you on a better path to a better destination. Okay? So here we are. And yeah, I cannot believe it's almost officially fall. You're right, 1963. Time she flies. I cannot believe that it is 2025. I mean, time just flies. So if time is flying, how can we make best use of our time as it goes by, whether even when we try to stop it? Okay. Alrighty. Now, Melissa says, good morning. I had plans to go to an estate sale. I feel not 100%, so trying to get some rest. Okay. And I think I go, and then my body says not today. All right. Yeah, give yourself grace, says the wise old owl. Says, what was the owl's name on Mr. Rogers? There was an owl, right? Rex the owl? No, Rex was the king. Melissa, here's an interesting thing, and this is the thing I love about doing the Destination Decluttered lives, is the only way that we communicate is for you to literally have to figure out the words you want to use to communicate. And listen, you say, I think I go, and you probably do go, but because you've gone, your body says, whoa, I need to rest. It's like driving and not refilling your tank, and then being surprised when you get out to the driveway and you're like, oh, I have no gas in my tank. And also, Melissa, I love a good estate sale as much as the next person. But if you're hanging out with me, I bet you have stuff in your house already. So maybe it is an okay thing that you're not going to this estate sale. Maybe when you're feeling better, you can putter around your house and you can play the game of estate sale by Milton Bradley. I crack myself up. You could play estate sale when you walk around your house. I am in, not my house, no. This is a stranger's house, and these are the things that I would totally pick out at this estate sale and pay for. And these are the things that I would look at and be like, why the hell are they trying to sell that? I would put that in the dump. Okay? So, Melissa, maybe it's a day to play the game of estate sale in your own house. That could help. Yeah. X the owl. Okay, you're right. Yeah, X, because he had the X on his little thing. Thank you, you guys. Thank you. I know I should be better at my my Mr. Rogers pop culture references, but I was thinking of Woodsy the owl. It got me distracted. Alrighty. Okay. See? Yeah, wise owl. You and me both, huh? Yeah, everybody here. The treehouse store. Yes, that's what I'm thinking of. And now part of me is picturing it, but notice the flexibility, the unreliability sometimes of the human brain. I could easily convince myself that when his little door opened on the tree, that there was an X there. Or I could easily say, no, maybe it was a Z. And then part of my brain said, well, it should be an X because then it would reinforce that it was X the owl. Unless I look at a picture, which you know I'm going to do right now, and see if they got one here. Okay, it did have an X. Okay, cool. Because that would have been goofy. So everybody here, why not play the game this weekend? Because this weekend is usually where those of us who like to collect and look at stuff and discover things, we go to thrift stores, we go to estate sales, we go to yard sales, we're dropping stuff off at the dump and we go to the free table. Instead of doing that today, perhaps what you say this weekend is, I'm going to pretend that I am at an estate sale at my own house. This is the stuff that I would actually buy again. This is the stuff that I would actually buy again. And this is the stuff that I don't want anymore, that I know I bought or got. Bought or got. I love the rhyme. And I'm cool with giving it to somebody else so maybe they can put it on their yard sale, or donating it so somebody else can use it. This is what we do here. So this is, again, for those of you who are new, I just posted a video that says, hey, I do YouTube lives and TikTok lives. My name is Beth. I'm a decluttering life coach. Yeah. And so here's the fun thing. Wise Owl is saying, I love this, but why did I buy this other thing? Whenever you ask yourself a question, pause, take a beat, and listen for your answer. Listen for your answer, okay? And so what is your answer? Why did I buy this other thing? Sometimes when we kind of break the seal of shopping, then we're like, well, we're going through the checkout anyway. That's why when I used to shop at Target, they have the $1, $3, $5 thing, because you may not know, you may go in there just to browse. You may go in there, but as soon as you put something in there that you didn't specifically go in to get, you've greased the wheels of capitalism. And they know that. That's why they put that stuff there. Okay? Yeah. Okay. And Laura Gibbon Voorhees, I want to offer you a phrase that, I'm not kidding you, came up in my mind multiple times today when I was on a text thread with my family. And, crap, the book is in the other room. I've read it before. I might have a copy of it there. But speaking of free things, I picked up a copy in one of the free little libraries in my town. And it's called The Four Agreements. And I'm pretty sure number one, if not, I know one of them is, and I'm thinking it's number one. It might be impeccable with your word. Do not take things personally. So Laura GV, I hope for your feeling good that you are not taking it personally, that not everything got taken from your free pile. Be psyched about what happened and be easily now feeling ready to put in the free box at the consignment store today. Yeah. All right. Oceanana, nice to see you. Nice to see you. And you are going to, you've learned firsthand about, is it worth it to sell stuff? Now, you thought you were going to get a certain amount of money. Is it worth that money minus 3%? Yeah, I have, when I do one-on-one coaching with clients, I ask for the payment up front, because when you have money invested in something, you show up. When you know you're not getting your money back, it may encourage you to show up. But I use Venmo and PayPal and those things, and I need to absorb the cost of the loss of that 3% as part of my business. Even that, it's still worth it to me to do it, but it may be different from you. Yeah. Or you can say to yourself, I do not accept Venmo, I accept cash only. Is it worth it? And only you can answer that. Okay. Now that one persona, yep, I love this. Okay. Fertility procedure didn't take this round. Trying to make the big sads a rest stop, not a destination. And even, how about this? How about, instead of being a big sad, I'm not going to expect you to make it a little sad, like go immediately from big sad to little sad. How about a medium sad? Maybe it's not a big sad, it's a medium sad. And the journey of having a baby is, part of this happens. So going incrementally, all right? My heart goes out to you. Okay, my heart goes out to you, my dear. All right, Judy, nice to see you. Yeah. So Oceanana, see, this is a really cool thing. I am really excited for you to experience firsthand, is it worth it for me to do this thing this way? Okay. Is it worth it for me to do this thing this way? I thought it was. I thought I would try selling it, so I did. Now you have experience. You can say to yourself, do I want to do that again? Now, I was reminded of this yesterday because these books that you see behind me, right here and here, I used to write books and I used to sell my books. And it was better for me monetarily if people bought them from me directly, but that also included a lot of work. Now, I haven't done that in a while. I closed my shop because it's just something, my books are out of date, whatever. But yesterday, I had to mail out some of my husband's records to somebody who bought them, and my husband's on the road. I am telling you, I was not enjoying packing that stuff up, taking it to the thing, doing the thing, and I was like, oh my God. And I ran into a neighbor after that, between the house to the P.O. box. I ran into a neighbor and I said, I'm going to the P.O. box. And I said, I am so glad I no longer am selling a physical product. It used to be fun. Ooh, I'm selling something to somebody. Now it's like, ugh. So just because you did it one time, that gives you the opportunity to say, do I want to do this like this again? And everybody's got their own opinion about it. You know, Wise Owl says, I agree. It's a lot of work if you can't meet locally. User 1963 says, I love doing all of it. Donating, consignment, giving it to friends, selling online, Posh, etc., and pop-ups. So I say, all of it's good. And I'm here to help you have courage, have confidence to say, what works for me? And what doesn't work for me? And be okay with it. Now, depending upon the price of the item, of course, you may still make a pretty penny, minus 3% in hassle if you have something over a certain threshold. But look at your, what I call your hourly rate. Your hourly rate. How much time did it cost you to make that money? And you do some division there, and that's how much money you make per hour. It better be over minimum wage, because minimum wage sucks right now. Okay, and you're worth a hell of a lot more. Your time, we were talking about that earlier, time you never get back. Time is a precious commodity. Time is a precious commodity, so spend it wisely. I sound like a meme, you know? So, yeah. Bernadette says, yeah, that's why I don't do yard sales anymore. Yeah. There we go, Star Queen. Good morning, Decluttering Doll. So what do we got going here? So I got my own stuff going on, decluttering. I could bore you with my own stories. Yeah, now Melissa enjoys listing things on eBay. So Melissa, maybe today, notice this. You were going to go out and you were going to go to an estate sale and look at somebody else's stuff. Notice how it's all related. Somebody else was going to buy that stuff to make money. If you went out and spent money, that wouldn't be money that would help with bills and groceries, etc. So think of the money you're saving, the money that you have for groceries and bills by not going to that estate sale. But also, when you play estate sale today in your house, look around for stuff that you can list on eBay for extra income. So see all the good things that can happen when perhaps your initial plans don't work out. Your initial plan of going out and going to the estate sale. Okay? Now, Lisa Gems at Heart, okay, is saying, I'm going to be moving from North Carolina to Indiana, and I'm overwhelmed with the work ahead, with packing, etc. Okay, so Lisa at Gems from Heart, I'm here to help you because one of the big things that will really help in doing this is to realize that the thing that's stopping you and making you feel not so good is that feeling of overwhelm. I will tell you, the word overwhelm comes up on every single one of my TikTok lives and my YouTube lives. As of now, I've recorded most of them for the past couple of years. There are 825 hour-long videos on my Destination Decluttered YouTube channel. And I mentioned that because, well, first of all, if you want to check them out, they're there. But also, 825 times somebody has said I'm overwhelmed. So I say, okay, well then let's deal with the overwhelm. So as a decluttering life coach, what I will offer to you, there are ways that you can calm down the overwhelm, and that will help to get you in gear. Okay? So one of the things that's overwhelming with you is I bet you're seeing the big picture. As you said, the work ahead. What I highly recommend is to take a minute and do things in this order, okay? These 3 things, and then the 4th. Make sure you're physically feeling okay, because if your physical body isn't feeling good, so take a scan from the crown on down, as I like to say. I'm going to be using the word down a lot in the next few minutes, people. So if you want to grab a glass and hydrate and do a shot of water every time I say down, then you're going to be nice and hydrated in the next 10 minutes. From the crown on down, Lisa and everybody, just check and see how you're feeling physically. Hopefully you're feeling okay. We're not asking for stupendous. That would be great. But if you're feeling okay and nothing is majorly out of whack, great. If something is out of whack, do something right now that's going to make that pain lessen. Okay? The next one is another down. And I basically kind of call this all the downs. This is when we talk about how you're feeling in your nervous system. Now, you know yourself, you're feeling overwhelmed. Notice how we say I'm overwhelmed, as this I'm a human being. No, I have the feeling of overwhelm. Separate yourself. Notice this when you feel overwhelmed, that overwhelm is a feeling. It is not you, but we get in the habit of thinking I am overwhelmed. I am a revolutionary. Okay. So notice where the overwhelm comes up. Where do you feel it? Is it a pit in your stomach? Are you hunched over? Are you about to throw up? Is your mind racing? And in all of those ways, you can calm down, you can breathe down, you can slow down. Okay, so find a way that works for you to calm down your nervous system. So scan your physical body, your nervous system, and then the third one is write down. If I were a rich man, no, get yourself a notebook, say moving plans, and all of the thoughts that are swirling around in your head that are overwhelming you with the work ahead, get them out of your head, write them down, notice the word down on paper. And keep them, I mean, you're going to have a lot of stuff to do, yes, but write it down in a book. Do a brain dump. Those 3 things will make you feel better. I guarantee. Okay? Now, I see I got some messages to catch up to, but that's a really important thing because those 3 steps right there, everybody, once we get them written down, then we chunk them down. There's another steps, but those ones are enough to get you out of overwhelm and into action. Okay? Now, Judy says, looking around this morning and seeing the piles of items I should take to the thrift store. Okay, I'm getting better at deciding what to thrift, but not so good at taking it to the store. Here's an interesting thing, Judy, and I'm going to just quickly see if you said anything else, because a bunch of things came in as I was chatting. One of the things I think is really curious, Judy, and I only have the words that you write to go by. You say you have piles of items to take to the thrift store. The next section to me, the next step in that process is, are those items in containers that will make it easy for you to take it to the thrift store? So maybe the very next step isn't going to the thrift store today at all, but it's finding a bag or finding a box. Bags or boxes are usually what you would put them in to do the thing. So are your things in piles? And if so, if you've decided You're getting better at the decisions. Yay. This is what I do. I always have a container ready, so I don't put it in a pile and then put it in a container. I just put it directly into the container. Okay? So, Judy, that will maybe help. Okay? User 1963. I hate things going to waste. I am horrified to see what neighbors put out for garbage pickup. You know what? I am definitely team DIY, team reuse, recycle, reissue, repackage. I am team donate, not throw away. Not everybody is, though. So if that's the only way they can figure out how to get that stuff out of their house, that's on them. Let's not try to judge them, but let's also work on our own stuff. I don't like it either, but at some point, even the stuff that we donate is going to end up in a landfill at some point. Okay? Yeah. Interesting. Therapy Gal Sue is saying, I'm at the part of the journey of decluttering where the boxes I wanted a couple of months ago are bothering me. I'm going through them. I love it. Yeah. And let me see. Okay, I get a couple of things that are under the same thing. Yeah. So a few dealies right here. Dealing with, and pardon me, talk about calming down your physical nervous system. Somebody's out there using like a weed whacker and it's bugging the life out of me. So I'm going to change my environment by shutting my window so I can focus more on you and not the buzz in the drum of the ear, okay? Hold on. Here, look at all my stuff. Okay, much better. If anything, I feel like I could even, and I do this, I used to do this a lot at work. I'd put no, because then I can't hear myself, put my earbuds in. Okay, so a couple of people are asking the similar question, which is how do you remove this, how do you let go of sentimental? That's the hardest, mainly my kids or grands, yeah. And Wise Owl is saying how to remove all the emotions from the things. Gradually, for both of them. So I'm going to back up a little bit just so you get some framework from which I'm referring to. So think of the clutter, think of all this stuff in your house as the clutter. Let's just call it all clutter. There's some stuff on the surface, there's some stuff that's stored, and there's some stuff that's sentimental. Sentimental stuff are the things that you have attached an emotion to. So removing something that you've imbued with emotion. It's almost like it's got it's got ink on it and you need something to remove the stain, to extract that. The other thing is letting go of sentimental is the hardest. The ones with emotion and the ones with stories. Because notice user 1963 says, sentimental stories about my kids and my grandkids. So this is the hardest part of decluttering for many of us. So I say that so you know that you are not alone if you think it is the hardest part of decluttering is the sentimental stuff. You are in good company. And what this means to me is that you have a heart and you have feelings, and those are two really good things. What I want to offer to you is this. Think about it. The item is just an item. You, because you have a heart and you have feelings, you have transformed that otherwise generic item from the store into something more magical, powerful than what it is, because you use it as a visual reminder to open up a story in your head. So think about that. You see a bunch of mugs on the shelf at, Target. They're all just mugs, no big deal. You buy that mug and, or somebody buys one for you and they give it to you and there's a story attached. Suddenly, it's not just about the mug, it's about the story. But think about this. Here's a fun thing. I just thought of this. I don't think I've ever done this. Okay. Time to learn. Time for timer. Where's it good? Okay, so let's say I was just talking about mugs, and here's the mug, right? It's on the thing. I bought it. Like, here's a mug on a shelf. Whatever. I get it, and there's a story attached to the mug, right? Notice what I just did. These are two independent things, and my story about this mug, I then attach to it so that the next time I see the mug, it's not really about the mug. It's about remembering up here and in here, triggering the story. So notice that. It's not really about the mug. You have the story whether you have the mug or not. There are other ways you can keep the story. So notice what your story is. My story with this mug is I bought it in Ireland, and I thought it was kind of cute because I'm a world traveler, and it says not all over wonder are lost. And then the thing that I thought was so neat was it says you are here, and it gives like a little arrow to Ireland. So I bought it even knowing that this is not the kind of mug I like to drink from. But I said, well, I want a souvenir, yada, yada. This is the kind of mug I like to drink from. Big, heavy American mug. So I used it for a while, but then I really wasn't using it for my tea. Now, did I donate this? No, because again, I have a sentimental attachment to it. I have a story attached to it, and I really wanted to see if I could keep the mug, keep the story. So what I've done is I have transformed it from a mug for tea into a place where I keep my my things. Other times you can detach the story, and even if I had said, I'm going to give away this mug, it would not remove the story of me going to Ireland. I could take a picture of this, and I do have a folder on my phone of memories donated. I think that's what I called it. And I would be like, oh yeah, that's that mug I bought then. So notice that there's a story attached to your stuff, that you have attached to the story. You have attached the story, so you can also detach the story. And then suddenly, this is just a mug again. It's kind of no longer magic. It doesn't have a magical hold over you. You can keep the story some other way. Now, I keep my stories by photographs. I keep my stories by writing stuff down in a book. There's other ways that take up less room and less require less care, frankly, than keeping the thing. Okay? Now, I love it. Red 56 Studio says, I just moved and struggled with sentimental items. I took cool pics to keep the story and then donated. Yeah. Yep. And yes, Wise Owl 100%, the fear of forgetting. Notice I didn't say, don't keep the story somewhere. Notice I said 2 different ways of keeping the story is to take a photograph or to write down the story. But how many photographs have you taken and you never look at again? That's another thing. But knowing at the time that you can do something about the item and creating a feeling of nervous system safety to not be afraid of forgetting, because you have a way of getting that visual trigger again to pop up that story in your brain. Okay? So, now, I'm going to back up here a little bit. And also the story you tell yourself, not just about, I don't want it anymore. Whoa. I don't want it. I can let it go. But also about where is it going to? Wise Owl says you can tell yourself a different story. Maybe someone else can find value and happiness in this. I don't find value or happiness in it anymore, but maybe somebody else will. Okay? Yeah. Now, here's a funny thing, Wise Owl. Now, I'm backing up here because I'm catching up, and I like to address as many comments as I can in the time I have. Wise Owl says, I make bags of stuff, and then they don't leave the house. Notice your phrasing. Notice. I'd be kind of freaked out if the bags themselves, much like Fantasia, grew legs and they left the house. Just notice, and you don't bring them out of the house, or somebody doesn't, Yeah. Oh, did I change the stuff in my cubbies? I did. I mixed things up a little bit. Yeah, because, yeah. Yeah, and attaching emotion to everything, some things don't deserve your emotion. Yeah? Okay. Okay, so Judy says, and I'm backing up again, good when stuff can be put in bags and dropped in container. Not good with breakables. Okay, so maybe what you do is you find some paper and you wrap the stuff up in breakable, Yeah. Okay. Alrighty. I'm again, there's a bunch of messages. Maybe we've got some new people here, and my name is Beth, Decluttering Life Coaching. Whatever. What am I? Destination Decluttered. User 1963, it's my kids. I have half a dozen. So much. Overwhelm. Beep, 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 beep. You're overwhelming you with the number. So chunk the number down. Okay? So notice, you're already doing that. I have half a dozen kids, but 4 out of the 6 are in college and grad school with no home of their own. Okay, even if they don't have a home of their own, they've got stuff of their own. It is never too early to start to learn the practice of decluttering. Okay? But notice where we think a thing, oh my God, I've got the kids' stuff and it's so much. Right here, people, you're going to overwhelm yourself. You're going to overwhelm yourself. Okay? Don't overwhelm yourself. There is enough to trigger the feeling of overwhelm in the outside world. Don't make an inside job of it, tool. Okay? So, learning, I will share with you. The other night, we did a YouTube live, and somebody popped into the comments, and I was like, who is this? Now, I'll be nice to anybody, but I'm always wary of TROLLS. We get very few of them. Well, it ended up being somebody from another country who was all overwhelmed and stressed out because they are studying for a medical degree and they're not liking it and all sorts of things. And I thought to myself, my gosh, what I would say a killing in the market, but what a benefit to humanity it would be if everybody was taught the skill of stopping and recognizing how they feel, and instead of acting on emotion, they noticed it and then decided what they wanted to do with that emotion. To learn the process of regulating your nervous system, we would probably have fewer gun deaths. Learning to regulate your nervous system, there would be less abuse. Learning to stop and take a beat and calm the F down and realize where it's coming from. So I offer to you, please do not overwhelm yourself. And on the flip side, if you are overwhelmed, learn from all of these videos I make that every single one of them includes a part about calming down and quieting down and sitting down and slowing down. And really, it's right here, people. Okay? Do not trigger overwhelm in yourself. There's enough in the external world that can do it for you. But even the external world stuff, you can see it and it can affect you with emotion. But if you realize that right in that place, you have a gap between what you would react and do or what you want your response to be, then you're making better decisions that will come to a better outcome. Okay? So I just offer to you. You're doing a good job. You're here hanging out with us. I'm here for another 21 minutes. And then there's actually, where's my schedule here? We've got a YouTube live at 11, so you can come back again. You can go do some stuff, come back, And yeah, if you're hanging out here, you're doing good stuff. And I'm a trustworthy person. I am not here to sell you anything. I do get people to pay me to coach them, but I don't sell that. It just exists. I'm here to help you, to let you know that you're not alone, that there's nothing wrong with you if you have clutter. I don't care how old you are. I don't care if you're 5 or 95 or anywhere in between. If the stuff in your house is making you feel crappy, let's change your relationship with the stuff in your house in a way that feels good about what you keep, feels good about the decision you make to release it, and feels good about how you get rid of it. feeling good, feeling good, feeling happy, feeling good. That's what it's all about. It's not about anything else, really. And that's why, again, I'm a decluttering life coach. Now, I have to do a little commercial thing right here, right? I don't have to, but I was just thinking, because I'm at a bit of a lull right now. I'm going to send out an email to everybody who's part of the email group just to remind you. So I'll say the reminder right here. Tomorrow, which is September 13th, 2025 at noontime Eastern until about 1:30 or so, we've got a decluttering party. A decluttering party. What a decluttering party is on Zoom. We all get together. We all, chunk down the time. I kind of create a little chunk of time, check in, chunk of time, check in, chunk of time, and then we're on our way. And so if you're interested in that, make sure you're part of the email group, and you're going to get the email as a reminder. If you are in the group, you already know that there's a secret page on the internet that only you have access to that has all the information there. So there's that. We've got that one tomorrow, and then 2 more in this following month. And also the TikTok and YouTube live schedule has been posted from now until September 25th. Okay, so good stuff is available. And if you're not part of the email group and you want to be getting some of that stuff, it's wicked easy. You go to my website, destinationdecluttered.com. And you scroll down to the bottom, there's a place that says join the mailing list, and you're in. Okay? Yeah. There we go. I love it, Paula to Jean. I'm super interested. Thank you, my sanity saver. You're welcome. Yay, Kara is feeling better. Slowly feeling better. I'll take it, right? Gifting a few houseplants this morning by buying nothing. I love it. I was gifted a plant, and I know I'm a plant killer. So what I did is I lovingly regifted it to the woman, the friend of ours who is a massage therapist, and she named the plant, and she brings me up to date on it. So very cool. Very cool. So, nope, same thing. I only got one thing. Email list, email group. Yeah, it's the same. I keep things so simple, people. I don't want to make extra work for myself. The only different thing that we have is if you are part of the email group and you want to reach out to other members, you tell me, and I call it the Pen Pal Club. Okay? So, and that's a different thing. And that's still in its baby stages, so we're still figuring out what to do. Okay, Laura Gibbon Voorhees. Feeling less pain, just feeling snailish. And I love you put the little snails there in your thing. Now, that's okay to feel snailish. A snail goes through life at a pace that feels right to them. And they're living a pretty awesome life. Sometimes we're snails, and sometimes we're gazelles, and other times we're we're lumping, we're walking around like some goofy animal, Every day is going to be a little bit different. Now, user 1963 says, sometimes I can't find your lives on YouTube. I'm only live for an hour. Are you looking at the secret page that has the, I think it should be pretty simple. From my perspective, and I could be missing a step in the process. This is the process. You go and check the TV guide, and you see when I'm live. And you say, oh, today, on Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern time, she says she's going to do a YouTube live. So then I go onto YouTube around 11 a.m. Eastern. I probably put in the search bar, Destination Decluttered, or perhaps you subscribe to my channel. And then there's a tab, at least I can see, that says live. And usually when I am live, they put like a little thing on the homepage of my YouTube channel that says, hey, she's live. Yeah, there are resources. Yeah. Now I say TV guide because I'm an old soul, and that's what I call the secret page. But you know what? A Wise Owl is more modern. They say, I just ask Alexa to remind me at 11 a.m. I love it. Sandy View, you're in good company. I have ADD, and I look at all my piles throughout the house, and I don't know where to start. Well, you've overwhelmed yourself, my dear. You started the wrong way. And I say this with love in my heart because, again, we talk about overwhelm in every single one of my lives, and I will continue to help people through the overwhelm. You looked at everything, And everything overwhelmed you because you looked at it all. So the opposite of getting overwhelmed is to not look at it all, to just focus down on a little section of it, to calm down your nervous system, to breathe down into your lungs, to slow down, to calm down your nervous section. My nervous section is about right here, from my heart to like my belly. And then pretty much you can start anywhere. There's no perfect way to do it. Okay? There's no perfect way to do it. Okay? Yeah. And I do all sorts of different things. Yeah. And so calm down your nervous system. And I say this with love. You would calm down a little kid if they were getting all, and I don't, and a thing, shh, it's okay. So deep breaths, calm down. You would pet their hair, you would give them a hug. You would say, it's okay. Nothing's wrong here. You are safe. Nothing bad is happening. So do the same to yourself. Let's say you don't have kids, but you've got like a fur baby and they get like triggered by, something's wrong. And they start barking. Shh, it's okay. It's okay. Come over here. And you would talk quietly to them. You would turn down the volume of your voice. You would pet down their hair that got all, zooped up when they got freaked out. You would talk to them in a quiet tone. You would slow down the way in which you spoke to them. All of those things you would do to a kid or a cat, do to yourself. Okay? Do to yourself. And calming down, and then the next, remember we said from the crown on down, calming down, writing down is a great thing. Any thoughts that are up here swirling around in the blender, put them down, dump them down into words on a page, get them out of there, but then chunking down your decluttering, starting small. Okay? It really is. Those 3.5 steps right there are the steps that if you take those in this part, in any part of your life, things will change. Look who we have in the house, people. We got Carla Jane. Carla Jane E. She's got a new last name because she got divorced. Nice to see you, my friend. And she gave me this, so that's why I like to say hello to her with my microphone. Mr. Microphone, I'll be back to pick you up later. Right? So the 3 steps, Connie, are basically scanning down your body to make sure you're physical. Now, number 1 would be check in with myself physically. So how am I feeling in my physical body? Am I tired? Am I awake? Am I aching anywhere? And if you're not feeling okay, if you're not feeling at least 50% gas in your tank, do something to get yourself to at least a half a tank. Whatever it is that's bugging you, do something to change it physically. The second step is your nervous system. So that's where we say you slow down, you quiet down. I call it kind of all the downs because there's so many downs, right? The third one is going to be writing down. So scanning down your physical, calming down your nervous, writing down the words in your head. And then the fourth one will be taking what you wrote down or taking what you want to do. And if it still seems overwhelming, you chunk it down into a smaller step. So you don't look at all the piles around the house. You focus on one pile. Judy Dukes, you look at one of your piles and you say, what could I do to get some of this stuff into a bag or box and to the donation place? Okay. Yep. Exactly. And thank you, Wise Owl, for putting them in the comments for those of us who work well with visual learning. So very cool. Yeah. And then chunking it down will get you started. Chunking it down allows you to kind of rev up your energy and get into action. There's a couple more steps after that, but there's still, those 3 are really all you need. Judy Dukes was in the house. Judy Dukes was in the house. Judy Dukes, are you still here? If not, it's okay. So, couple things. There's nothing wrong with you if you have too much stuff in your house. If you look at the external world we live in, and primarily the people who I know who struggle with clutter are from the United States. We live in a society that encourages you to buy things, to accumulate things. the promise of happiness if you have the right stuff. And if you don't feel happy, oh, it has nothing to do with what's in here. You haven't bought the right thing yet. You don't have the right car. You don't have the right purse. You haven't bought the right makeup. You are wearing the wrong clothes. You better go buy something from me so I can make money, so I can buy the things I want from somebody else who's selling something to make money. Do you see that cycle? It's not working for a lot of people. No, at least not in the long term. Short term, sugar high, yay! But then if it's not something you really want, and it's just adding to the piles of stuff in your house, it can make you feel worse. Heavy. Oh, it's not your fault you have stuff in your house. Okay? Yeah, I would do the same thing, Red 56 Studio. I would donate a carload and then go in and shop just in case there was a treasure find. I used to do that too. I used to call it bringing an offering to the gods. Here you go. I'm giving you this. Now when I go around to the front of the store, maybe there's something good in there for me. That's okay. There's absolutely nothing wrong with any of this stuff, and there's nothing wrong with you. Okay? You are not something to be fixed. You are not flawed. You are just noticing that there's a relationship between how you feel and something that's contributing a not so good feeling is the quantity and quality and location of the items in your home. It can be as simple as that. Okay? So don't shame yourself. Don't beat yourself up. Don't judge yourself. Don't talk bad to yourself. A, because there's nothing wrong with you, and B, is because it doesn't work. It does not work. If shaming yourself and beating yourself up and talking bad to yourself was an actual good thing to do, you would have everything you wanted because that kind of motivation would work. But no, what you do is you end up getting two stinky things. You end up yelling at yourself and feeling bad and then still having the pile of stuff. And it's taken me 50 plus years to learn this, people. And the cool thing is it didn't take me 50 years. I lived a certain way for about 50 years. And then I said, I got to change something. And I learned something different in the past 5 to 10 years that has shot the quality of life of mine up like into the triple digits. It's so much better. So that's why I show up to help you, you know? And yeah. So that's what we do here. I help you through this process because like a road trip guide, I've been down this road before. I drove it myself. I got to the end, kind of, but not really, you know, because we're always on a journey. But my house, in theory, because we have construction going on, but my house looks the way I want it to look, functions the way I want it to function, and feels the way I want it to feel, and it feels great. But I don't want to be the only person. If I had the key to unlock that, then man, why would I keep it to myself? It doesn't make me feel any greater. If anything, it makes me feel worse. When I have something cool to share and I'm keeping it to myself, that's greedy. That's hoarding. No. Hill Dorset, you're saying I want to get to there? I can help. I can help. You know, I need that feeling. I can help you get that feeling. You know? Yeah, okay, teacher. I went to Goodwill to look for a ladies' dress shirt. I found one, but it was $21. Yeah. Yeah, sometimes you can be surprised at how much people want for their stuff. I just offer to you that you're not alone, and what you've been doing hasn't worked yet. I haven't added dates to my calendar for coaching. I haven't yet. I will be doing that. I am dragging my feet. Actually, I will be honest, I'm not really dragging my feet. What I need to do is I need to take a good look at what my fall schedule is like, mainly so I can feel good about the time that I have available for one-on-one clients. The last thing I want to do is overpromise and then provide you with an inferior product. But looking at my calendar, actually, I do have quite a bit of time. So I am doing that today. Yesterday was a really busy day for me. And so, yeah, so I will be doing that. No need to fear. And I am here from you right now. Okay? And I think this is fun, so I keep on doing it. All right? And a couple of things. We've got, just as a reminder, there are TikTok lives and YouTube lives from now until the 25th, and there will be ones after that. Where's my calendar of travels? Yeah, because then I leave on the 26th, 27th, 28th, and then I come back, and then I go away, and then 2 days I'm away, and then I go away, and then I come back, and that thing on that weekend is not happening except for those 2 days. And then I might go away in November and then December, but you know what? We figure it out. See, this is a fun thing. This is the flexibility with which I share with you how the back, the behind the scenes things go with me. I have a flexible schedule, and I love it. If things get too regimented, I immediately feel myself kind of like resisting. That don't fence me in feeling kind of happens. So I try not to fence myself in. But also, I totally, from the get-go with my one-on-one clients, am flexible with you because you're going to be flexible with me. Yeah. And it's fun. And so when it feels good, I'm going to do it, and it's going to be no big deal. But thank you, actually, I will say this, Wise Owl, thank you for the reminder to add those things. That was one thing I didn't do because I was chock-a-block full yesterday. Add consults to calendar. And basically what the consults are, I might as well just give you a couple of these last few minutes. So we want to kind of, as I like to say, like swim over to the shallow end to get out. We don't want to jump into the deep end and then have to leap out in 2 or 3 minutes. So a consultation for one-on-one coaching is simply a conversation between you and me on Zoom. You tell me what's bugging you clutter-wise. I ask you questions so I get a more well-rounded view, kind of like a pie. And then depending upon what you're struggling with and my skill set, if what you're struggling with is something I can help you with, then I am there as an open book to tell you everything you are curious about coaching, how much it costs, what the schedule's like, what happens during a coaching session, and every question you have that might get in the way of you saying, yes, I want this in my life. And I'm happy to do that. And it can be a very beneficial thing for you to also have the space and time and opportunity for you to answer some of these questions to see how is your clutter affecting your social life? How is your clutter affecting, your mental health? How is your clutter affecting your relationships? How is your clutter affecting, these different things? Because clutter is not just about having a house that looks good and to take a surface picture. Anybody can shove stuff out of the frame and make it look good. But that's not what we want for you. We want you to be able to create something that you want and sustain it. Yeah, and accountability, flexibility, all that stuff. I have clients I've been working with for years. I have clients that worked with me for one package and got what they wanted, and, they got what they wanted. Yeah. So notice, Wise Owl, no one can come into my house but necessary workers. Yeah. So notice how that can affect even if, sometimes people avoid making home repairs or getting their homes repaired because they're afraid to let the workers in. Even if you're letting workers in, if you're not letting your friends in your house, that affects your social life. And we are all connected. We are all connected. So it affects your relationships. And we need to feel connected, to feel secure and not alone. Loneliness is a contributor of depression. And notice how sometimes you can be depressed and lonely, and it has to do with how your house looks and how you feel about it. So there's all sorts of good stuff. I will definitely be adding, TikTok's making me do this little puzzle dealy. Oh, that was me. Okay. I'm going to be reminding people of the declutter parties that we have tomorrow and a couple more this month. Reminding you that there's a secret page that you can go and see when I'm going to be live again. And also the first people who will know that the consultation calendar is open are going to be the people in the mailing list group. So if you're in it, you don't have to do a thing. I will take care of you. But if you're not in the group and you want to be in the group, wicked simple. Go to my website, destinationdecluttered.com. Scroll down to the bottom of the front page. There's a little box right there. You put your email address in it. You promise you're not a robot. Hit submit. Then I have your email. You can be added to the group. And also, you get an email from me that's popped out after you do that gives you the link to the secret page that has the TV guide on it. Okay? Yay, user 1963 says, I have done a party. It's fun and productive. Mary Lou's doing the party this weekend. Yeah, the parties. Let's have a party, people. Okay, in the meantime, I got to go move my body before 11 a.m. We're doing a YouTube live. Okay, so this has been wicked fun to see people that I know, to meet new people. And, oh, somebody just gave me a crown. That's kind of funny. I've never seen that before. Thank you very much. And you got this, okay? You're going to rock.